Yeah.
Out of the Game
Game
Awards.
Awards. Oh my word. Oh, like Sonic got completely shafted from those guys.
I'm not surprised by some of these, but then half these games are like, I'm sorry, who?
Yeah. Okay. Like I understand. Like a lot of these guys, a lot of them went into their projects with a lot of work, especially God of War. You can definitely tell that they put a lot of effort into that, and Elden Ring for sure. They've been I think they've been working on that for 11 years or something like that.
Seems
Not
like it,
sure.
given how good the quality was and how much I heard about it.
Yeah. Well, basically, Sonic Frontiers. I know for a fact they worked for 5 years on this because that's when they first announced it 5 years ago.
It fucking shows.
Yeah, and it does. Definitely, my favorite theme out of all of them is "Find Your Flame," which I kind of want to sing at some point. um, yeah, they didn't even nominate any single soundtrack from Sonic, and I'm just flabbergasted by that.
But God of War has such good music. Like when they went, oh, oh.
It's I don't understand. Sometimes I just don't understand people. I think I get the argument that maybe Sonic was too late for the Game Awards, but that doesn't make any sense because they already nominated him for other things, and he already won the award for best fishing minigame.
Well, I don't know if that was a real Game Awards or that was a fan made thing. It's a thing.
Maybe it might have been actually. I know he was. I know he's winning in one of the categories. I think it was round two. He was actually in first place.
Nice.
I'm not sure. All I know is that Sega definitely put a lot of effort into this. Well, actually, I shouldn't say Sega. I should say Sonic Team because apparently Sega is not the same thing as Sonic Team. And if to contextualize from what I've been told, Sega is essentially the slave driver, while Sonic Team are the people actually working on it.
Oh, so it's the Pokemon company to Nintendo.
Right. It's Game Freak to Nintendo.
Right, Game Freak. That's right.
Right. Right. But yeah, we can talk about Pokemon in a second because my word. Yeah. Oh boy, but that's the
such high quality assurance.
Yeah. I know everyone's been talking to death about Sonic the Hedgehog, but
you talk about good things.
Yeah, let's talk about good things first. We got to start with positivity to get everyone hooked in to listen to this podcast. For real though, Frontiers. I guess we can say. I guess we could probably go into spoiler territory at this point because at this point you've either seen Sonic or you haven't. You've seen the entire game being played by someone else or you haven't.
Yeah.
I think it's the first Sonic game in years that I have ever seen where it's actually difficult to get through.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. There's actual difficulty.
Wait, you don't just boost to win?
No, you don't. It doesn't play itself. No, in fact, it actually tries to prevent you from winning. I know, right?
The Avatar from Force is just shaking in his boots in the corner.
Actually, they ported the Avatar from Forces.
Oh, that's nice.
Or no, wait, no, did I say? Well, I mean, I meant to say specifically the Sonic Avatar.
Oh, well, still.
Right. I'd like to see you know what, actually, I think it would be interesting to see the Avatar come over from Forces, but I don't think that's ever going to happen because that would take way too much processing power.
Yeah, it's just better to stick with what we have and just take the DLC we can, but that's when that comes out.
Yeah, I think they said it was coming out in February.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. Here's Sonic.
I mean, hey, what better time to drop it? I mean, if they don't drop Amy as a DLC character, it might not make a whole lot of sense. But
imagine if on Valentine's Day they drop Elise.
No.
They just bring a human in.
Oh boy. Oh no!
We ruined the game for you.
You know, I will say this though: the bosses, they're really actually. I think the most effort was put in directly into the bosses, the actual boss fights.
Makes sense.
Like, there's different kinds of bosses. There's the mini bosses, which are called guardians.
I see.
And each one of them is not just a simple press certain button to win. You actually have to maneuver around them, or if you unlock a certain ability, then you'll be much easier to defeat them.
Naturally.
Like there's these little orb. I think you've seen these in the trailer, right? Where there's the little orb guys.
Yes.
With the though surprisingly, those things are not easy to kill.
Really, but in the trailer, they're just like being homing attack chained.
Yeah. See, okay, so here's the thing about those things. They're difficult to kill unless you unlock that wind slash ability.
Oh boy.
Right. So, like, again, I mean, you can still kill them. It's just significantly slower, and doing the wind slash just significantly increases the speed of it. Which that is something that has been missing. It's not a matter of you can't do this in a Sonic game. It's more a matter of you can't do this as fast in a Sonic game.
Which just kind of goes against the character, if to say it out loud.
Yeah.
You can't do this as fast, but I'm the fastest thing alive.
Right, but once you get to Giganto, the first boss, I kind of hate that name, but I don't really mind it. So basically, at that point, you're basically just thrust into a position where you have to unload all of your existing knowledge that you've learned up to this point. All of the combat that you've learned so far, you gotta unload it as fast as possible.
Oh boy, that's a thing a bit.
Basically. It's obviously a supersonic boss fight.
Yes.
And as you know, in supersonic, your rings slowly deplete during the entire boss fight.
Yes.
So in this instance, since you're fighting Giganto, you have to essentially beat the clock by getting his health bar as low as possible. Meanwhile, his pushback against you is amping up throughout the entire fight. You have to use different maneuvers throughout the entire fight to finally hit him in the face.
Ooh, that sounds different. That's a different kind of challenge for Supersonic.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of things I think there's a thing that people missed about the Titans. It's not that they're just giant monsters, because we've seen that all the time in Sonic. There's this giant.
If there
monster.
isn't a giant monster, something's wrong.
Right, this giant monster of the week, Jerry. You know.
Right.
Come on, how many giant monsters? You got Chaos, the Bio Lizard,
Dark Gaia,
Devil
Doom,
one that everyone goes
Metal Overlord.
Metal Overlord, yep. But the thing about all those bosses that they're slow. They're really slow.
Yes.
Perfect
Chaos, and some of them don't even move.
Right.
Perfect Chaos just stands there.
But if you actually take a look at the Titans, how they act in cutscenes, how they react to Sonic while in the fights, they're actually quite agile despite their size.
That just reminded me of the DBZA quote. That means he's bigger than me. That means he's not as fast. Oh god, he's still as fast.
Yeah. I think it's the first, because whenever there's a fast character in Sonic tends to have a hard time with that character.
Yes.
You got Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic gets his ass kicked by him.
Yes.
Granted, Shadow was using Chaos Control to be faster than him, but still, it's a speed-based thing. And then you have Infinite, who was, quote, faster than Sonic, and until later, Sonic couldn't beat him.
Until he believed in the superpower of teamwork.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
we made this game in 5 minutes. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair to developers of Forces. I'm sure they had a very hard time, and I have nothing but respect for them. I just don't like their game.
That's right. But this is the first time that Sonic has ever been up against enemies that are not only gigantic, but just as fast, if not slightly faster than him.
Sonic just having a mental panic attack. That's not right. That's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works.
If you're gigantic, you're supposed to be slow. That's how it's supposed to go.
Don't you know anything about cliches?
Yeah.
You've gone too far, Sage.
Okay, yeah, not even to spoil it, but the third boss, the third boss, Knight, is actually so fast that you actually can't hit him throughout the entire second segment throughout the game.
Then how am I supposed to beat him?
Well, okay, so basically you have to essentially goad him into hitting himself.
Oh, great. So
yeah.
the boss fight is, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Kinda. Okay, so basically he's throwing something at you, and you have to knock it. You have to essentially predict where he's going to be and throw it back at him.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll explain that in a sec, but each boss gets progressively more powerful as you do,
I see.
which is honestly amazing because obviously there's a level up system, which you've probably seen.
Yes. It's a
But
game released in the 2020s. There's going to be a scale tree.
Right, but the thing is, the abilities that you like the abilities that the bosses use directly correlate with how fast you're able to learn. So when you're at the second boss, you can't really defeat him unless you learn how to parry.
Uh-huh.
Like literally, you can't actually defeat him unless you learn how to parry.
Yes, I see.
And yeah, it's a pretty rough crash course. But once you do learn how to parry, you are likely to learn another secret about the parry, which I'm not exactly going to just divulge at this point. But it does make parrying significantly easier. And then I see every single streamer who has ever played the game do this. The moment they get to the night fight and they try that same little trick that they used on Wyvern with the parry, it doesn't work.
Yeah, oh, great. I love that stuff. We're just like, I'll do the exact same thing. No.
No, it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. And that's the thing. Like the trick you learn to defeat the new boss suddenly makes that boss you're fighting a lot easier.
Yes.
But then the next boss, when you try the same thing against them, it doesn't work.
It's like it was watching your battle. It's like, okay, so we can parry now. I'll make sure he can't parry that next time then.
Oh yeah, you think you just parry me? Well, I got an idea. How about I just don't hit you? Huh?
I see you've been spamming this one move the entire game. I've already developed a counter to it. Wait, what?
Yep. It's amazing too, because and then you get to the final, I guess the fourth one. Final one is Supreme, and he doesn't actually, I don't think you can really parry anything that he does. And additionally, you can't really do the same thing that you've been doing with Knight, where you try to like home in on his face essentially, because he's got these little spheres around him that prevent you from getting close to him.
I see.
So yeah, you have to learn something new with every single boss fight, and you just feel more powerful every single time you do it. And then if you go back to Giganto, the first boss fight, he feels like an absolute pushover.
Yeah, because you know all these abilities now.
Right, and it's a great feeling of superiority, a dopamine hit that hits you so hard.
And that music in the background is helping things.
I am no longer your lesser. I am now superior to you.
The music that's playing in the background used to be your theme. Now it's my theme.
Yeah. I don't know. Sonic Team did a great job with this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things to explore to it, and I highly recommend anyone that's potentially watching to give it a play. Or ask your friend to borrow their game.
Just reminded of that one guy who makes all the freaking Sonic making meme videos be like, I'm kind of scared of what happens next because now I have such big shoes to fill. What if I let everyone down?
I mean, he does have a lot of big shoes to fill, but fortunately, it looks like Sonic Team is planning to just use this as a copy-paste format, which I'm okay with.
I know, but I'm also scared because they did copy-paste the boost formula to death, and at some point it did start to wear out its welcome.
True. Well, I mean, we're still using the boost formula.
True enough.
It's just evolved. It's evolved with Sonic.
Yes.
I am glad, though, that he doesn't constantly have that trail behind him.
I kind of like the trail, but I can see why people don't like it.
I mean, it's optional in this game.
I was upset. Funny. I was upset in Colors when they got rid of the boost thing that goes around him.
What? Oh, right. Yeah, I did not like the Colors boost at all.
I get why I couldn't see it because it's air. Of course, I can't see it, and we're in space, so there's no air to boost through. But it's like it looks cool.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I didn't like the boost formula for Colors. I mean, to be fair, Colors felt more like a platformer than it did an actual Sonic game.
Well, but Sonic is a platformer.
No, like a slower platformer.
It is more Mario than Sonic. Maybe that's why it did so well, because everyone on the Wii was a Mario fan.
Yeah, I don't know.